identify the problem statement, analyze the case, write the solution, and end with the conclusion. These are the 4 things you have to remember. And you have to practice cases. Practice, 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 nothing else. So these are the types of examples I'm talking about. So first example you can see. Everybody can read my presentation, what I have written over here. You can read it. Yeah. So
Yes.
you can see this is one of the examples. So what is this example? This is comparing one organization to another organization which has no relation, but you have to apply what are the factors that
Yes.
yeah. So what are the factors that you see about this? All right. So how do you compare a dairy factory with a software and IT company? You have to analyze the case. What is the case? What is the problem statement here? Anybody? Anyone? It's
So
very
they're
easy.
asking.
What is the problem statement? What do you think the problem statement in this paragraph?
They are asking how would your strategy, tools, and system be distinct from whatever is happening already? What difference would you make?
What difference? What difference? What are the 2 factors? I have nothing in my hand. What difference? What difference I will make? With what factors I will make the difference? What are the 2 factors present in the example? To do what they are asking, what will I differentiate? You have just told like you are just strategizing tools and systems to be distinct. And second thing is never copy what is written in the case. You have to write in your own words, frame your own words and write it. So you see here that they are saying that you have to compare.
So mind if I answer on that?
Yeah, sure.
Basically, what I understood from the question was that organization that builds applications, and they are asking how could they be different from a convenient dairy factory?
Right.
So yes, sir. Should it be like is it customer based or employee based? Sir, I'm just confused over there.
See, understand. Is it written? Is there customer written over this?
So how can they be different? Okay, for the factory, so it's employee based.
Customer written. Please read the question statement. Please read and tell me what is written in the question statement. There is a question from how. Just read that. Is there any customer mentioned in that?
Not particularly, but
Not particular.
Yes, sir.
It's written business. See, this is the thing which you have to develop. Do not overthink. Go from your what's stated in the problem statement. Do not go
no,
further.
but it says how would your business strategize? No, like
how your business strategy, it's not pertaining to the customers. It's your how they are utilizing. What are the difference between a dairy factory? Let's take Amul and TCS. What's the difference between them? All right. What method, what strategies they use? You have to analyze your framework over here. SWOT framework, or you can use Porter's 5 forces to analyze what are the different things. All right. It can be different suppliers. It can be different, entry points for the new entrants. So you have to analyze using those frameworks. The tools you use in factory, you use normal tools. You use manufacturing tools, right? What tools we use in an IT company? What tools we use in IT companies?
Mainly computer, internet server.
Right. So we use mostly generally software tools, right?
Yes,
we use
sir.
software to build those applications and build those technologies. But in the factory, we use hardwares, right?
Yes.
Manufacturing based, right? So now this is a very big case. This is just take a screenshot and practice this thing, right? Search in the
Yes.
internet, what is the difference, what is the dairy factory, what is the industry about, and what is the industry about IT. Just take a screenshot and just practice this thing. Okay, so understanding the problem statement is very necessary. Do not overthink. Do not think like it is talking about employees or there. It is clearly mentioned. It is talking about the business methods, their strategy, their tools, how they utilize the tools, and what systems they use. Right? What systems they use to build those applications or build or process dairy foods. So you have to understand that. You have to differentiate that. Right? So coming to the next example, this is a scenario-based case study. Now read the case. Everybody can see the case clearly, right? Now, have you read the case?
Yes, sir.
So in this situation, if you are a product development manager, what would you do?
Basically, suggest what will be the long-term consequences, sir.
All right. First point.
But
Second.
as they have stated in that the stakeholders are unwilling to change, maybe come up with points as like now they have agreed, but at the long term, how it will cause and how it will have some major problems in even the working of the company.
And this is one of the solutions that you can convince them. All right. You have made certain points. And what is the solution? Number one is you're keeping on convincing your stakeholders. Now think of any other solution you are thinking of.
So may I?
Yeah, tell me.
Actually, the company stakeholders are not willing to change because of the operating expenses. So we can suggest them the cost-effective methods to solve this problem.
All right. You are saying that we should, number one, the first person said that we can convince our stakeholders how it can cause long-term impact and will try to convey. Second point, got from another person that because we can, apply some cost-effective methods to reduce the operating expenses as well as manage those sustainable processes. Right? We can implement half of it and half of it we can implement, or in a 5-year period, we can go about that. Right? There are many solutions to that. Everybody is thinking in a different way.
Sir, I had one more doubt.
Yeah.
May I? Should the solutions always be ethical and practical, or we can have some unethical solutions like?
Good point.
Having some social awareness so that the company is not listening, you can maybe try to forcefully implement it by socializing the problem and let public pressure get them to do what they are really supposed to do.
That's a bad scenario if you are using public to pressurize your stakeholders. That is a bad thing to do. That is a bad solution. Obviously, it can be a solution, but that is a bad solution because you are actually manipulating your stakeholders instead of trying to convince.
But from an environmental perspective,
it is ethical thing. It is environmental, but think like that. Now you are also responsible. You are not public. You are a part of your company. So, and you are the product development manager. If anything goes wrong, the public is not in your control. You will face some major problems, right?
That's the question, sir. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
You will face some
yes,
major. So that is not the viable solution for that. You should not go for that. The first suitable solution is to see and apply cost-effective methods to solve this. To manage your stakeholders' things and also manage ethical decisions. And always do not be unethical, because if you be unethical, you will be rejected. I'm sure you will be rejected if you are unethical. If the a person who is reading these things that you are making unethical decisions, you will be rejected, because MGNF is mostly related to skill development and in economical development of a country. So you will be rejected for that. So that is the thing. Yeah.
So can we put the
So-
any past examples? Because as management and stakeholder, they're not allowed to change the methodology, so that we can share any past examples over there. Can we?
What do you say past examples?
Like, can I substitute this? The same thing is asking.
Yeah.
Suppose we tell them anything which is unsustainable with environment is always proved to be cost effective. Like, for example, if we can give example of BS6 vehicles. Automobile industry is now facing the industry which have used BS4, BS3 vehicles. Now they are facing problems due to the upcoming BS6 vehicles. So government today is supporting their policy. So maybe in future they can change their policy, and in the long run then industry could face problem. And also, sir, I wanted to ask one thing, that do we need to elaborate the issues, like the methods, as he was mentioning, cost effective methods. So do we need to elaborate the cost effective methods? What are those methods?
Yeah, so the thing is, you have to see whether that method is very efficient for your industry or not, because there are many different methods. You can cut labor costs, you can also reduce your machinery, or you can sell your machinery, your existing machinery, and set up a new processes and plants. Understand that this is not a short-term decision, this is a long-term thinking, but stakeholders are thinking in a short term, right? In short term. But you have to explain to the stakeholders that we understand your situation, we will use cost effective methods. If there's no cost effective methods, we will try to project a long-term advantage if we can go into a very sustainable process.
Sir, we can also remind them of their social responsibilities towards the environment.
Remind them of the social. Well, CSR is another thing. Corporate social responsibility is another thing, and contributing in a very sustainable manner is another thing. All right, it's all about protecting the environment. CSR is obviously on funds and all. Obviously, it's known as that, but it's mostly funds and all. You are using funds to generate economic.
Can I?
Development. Yeah.
So actually, the thing is here, the case is a freshly hired product manager. So I'm coming right fresh, and nobody would ask me anything, right? Nobody would treat me. First thing that I can do is creating awareness at the current level with my co-workers and boss, and then awareing them that if anything happens like that or this. So if I can get the people around me with my thinking ability and decision making skills and soft skills, so I can persuade them like the subsequent bosses, and then they can help. Right.
So right now, let's no more discuss, because this can be going more and more. It will consume our time. We have already 10 to 15 minutes about to spare. So you have seen that there are so many solutions to that, but it generally boils down into two parts. One is using cost-effective methods. If they are not also agreeing with the cost-effective methods. Second is your plan B, convincing them for a long-term prosperity, or long-term growth. Freshly hired is not the main concern, because people hire you because they trust you, right, with your work. So freshly hired is a very less concern compared to the main problem. You have to identify the main problem. The main problem is the stakeholders and the operating expenses. These are the two main key points here. Now you analyze these things. How do you? That is the thing. Do not go do not think, do not overthink, because when you overthink, you will feel like I am fresh, I am this. We are making some assumptions that this is this, this is that. All right. This will confuse you, and in the end, you will not be able to write the case effectively. So you have to do the right thinking, point of view, and precise. That is what I explained you before.
Sir, may I have a question? Sir, like, for the stakeholders, like, what is the extreme point to convince them? Like, to how much extent we can convince them? Like, how should we convince them?
Assumptions, right? But one thing is, you have to remember when you're speaking to a shareholder, mostly the shareholders are mostly stakeholders. Well, stakeholders comprises of many different public, government, and your shareholders, etc., your employees. But right now I'm speaking about the stakeholders is the shareholders. And what shareholders care about? Long-term growth, long-term profit. This is the extreme. This is, you can't go beyond that. The public thing which one person was speaking about, that is extreme. But if you write that, you will be rejected and your case will not be further processed because you are doing so much extreme. That is unethical. You have to take ethical decisions, right? So these are the two suitable solutions. Well, this
is one more thing, like regarding the waste management. Like, can we even install some machines to just make it a recycle thing and without
many different things are there. You are coming up with different solutions.
Okay. So it's just about providing a good solution, right?
It's all about providing a very suitable solution
and which is very practical.
Practical, yes, very practical. Not go into something that is not
not creating a hypothetical situation, no?
Right. So you have to think, you have to see what is practical, what can be implemented, not it cannot be implemented. And you have to minimize the risk. Whenever you are writing the case, you have to minimize the risk, you have to minimize what you are thinking about, right?
So it's all about taking some simple steps and creating a good environment for everyone. It's just that, right?
So you have to understand, take a screenshot, write the case. If any problems face, you can message me.
So can you please suggest on some more questions, some more case studies, so that
I will suggest you. I have many cases. I will suggest you. But for now, I think we are very much time constraints.
Out of time, no problem.
अरे हो गया एक ही बात को इतना कंपनी इतना सुन लेते हैं
सर इसमें हेलो सर hello
we can ask questions afterwards. Now we are going to the next section, otherwise we will not be able to finish the presentation. Please be ensured like that. So now we will see how to use data to support our problem statement, to support our solution. Now this type of data set would be given. It can be a different data, but this is for an example. Now tell me, what do you make of this data set? What do you think, what is there in this data set? Anybody? Yeah.
Sir, may I? Relation between GDP and the Human Development Index.
All right. What do you make of it? Now, make it in a sentence. Tell me what differentiation they are doing. Frame me in a sentence. Point about they are comparing GDP.
Yes, it's like they're making the comparison so that to give us a general idea of which countries are developing, but not at the price of a decline in Human Development Index. Like not just being money oriented, but people oriented also.
Right. So you have to use your data, because data is power. Because if anybody says you are speaking something, right, and you're not backed by data, and now what happens is somebody came and they said this is null because your data, what you're speaking is not matching with the facts and figures present. You will be unanswerable. to the person whom you are speaking with. So you always back up with facts and data if given. If not given, you have to know what is the GDP of our country, what are the things happening in there. Always do not assume data, be sure of it. Because I have seen people assuming data, but in reality it is something else. You can go to the point. Suppose a country's GDP is 8%, but you are writing it is 8.5%. That is okay. But if you are going from 8% to 10%, there's a 2% difference. That can be a huge gap, right?
Actually, so, sir, I have a conclusion. Can I say?
Tell me.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I can also that how development is not related to urbanization. There are countries who are less in the rank, more in the urbanization. So it is a general perception that more urbanization means more development. So it can be rural development also. That
So there can be many things you can just with just one data set you can derive so many hypotheses with just one data set. So you have to understand which is the right data set applicable to my, which is the right thing. If the person is speaking about GDP and population, there is no involvement of human development indices. You have to compare GDP and population. You have to pinpoint the the particular data which the reader is asking you for, right? So if it is given GDP and population, there is no connection with human development. If it's speaking about human development indices and the population, you have the data. You have to identify which data they are speaking about, and you have to write and support your decisions. Try to support your decisions with facts and numbers, right? So this is just the basics of the case. Nobody will teach you case. Nobody can teach you case. It's like mathematics. Nobody can teach you mathematics. You have to practice. Then only comes some inner self that you can solve the. All right. Suppose if you are just just the basics. Suppose I have just given you the integration formulas. All right. I have just provided you with the integration. I have just told this is how you do integration and this is the formulas. Right. And I have also shown you some examples like how this is how I solved the case. This is how right. But now, if you are in exam, you haven't practiced integration and there's some problem given to you, right? You will be unable to solve the problem because you don't have practice for the integration part. So you have to practice cases. Search in the internet, there are many practice cases. And now I'll be going into the thing like how can you develop the aptitude to solve case studies, right? So going to the next slide. Great.
So what do you think of this data?
Just wait. I would not explain till now because we are very short on time.
So थोड़ा बहुत तो बता दीजिए क्या बता रहा है ये data?
Just to give an idea.
So this is basically, you can see there's a comparison between human development indices. All right, what is the development level of a particular person in that country, and what is the GDP, and what is the population. So actually, they are stating that how much developed our country is comparing, and how much development has taken place in those countries, comparing how we are exporting our GDP, right? So if you educate somebody, if you see that there's a skill development in some other in the sector, you will see that there's a rise in GDP because there's a growth of jobs, right? And it comes with the population also, because if your percentage of population who are educated and who are learning, who are developed, and they are participating in the growth of the country, obviously the GDP will rise. And these are basically the third world countries listed by the United Nations Human Development. All right. So India is there because it's a developing country. It's not till developed yet, right? So we are
Sir,
comparing
I had
that.
a very small
This
question.
data is particularly given in the case of MIT, where there is a non-profit which trains people, and they employ the people in developing IT infrastructure for the company. And these are the main hubs where IT outsourcing happens. That's why India is there, right? So,
ठीक है sir.
Sir, in
Next.
such case studies based on data, will we have questions following them, or will they be just asking us to deduce a general idea from it?
Just wait. It can be a two-liner thing. It can be a paragraph, and it can be just like this. This is a paragraph, right?
And sir, considering the fact that we don't require a commerce background or a commerce degree, will there be some complicated cases so that we should go deeper and practice more complicated cases?
You don't have.
I think yeah. Can we have these questions at the last of the session, please?
Sure.
क्या होगा MGNREP में, कैसा कैसे तैयारी करनी है, प्लीज वी विल डिस्कस इट, डोंट वरी, ठीक है? एक बार फ्लो कंटिन्यू रहे ना, एक बार केस स्टडी समझ लें. इट्स नॉट फॉर MGNREP, it will help us in our entire life. Yeah?
Right.
Sorry for the interruption.
Right.
Okay.
So now the last part is very simple. How do you develop your aptitude in solving cases? Right. Number one, do not overthink. I have explained you why overthinking is a harm if you're solving cases. Do not overthink. Think to the point. Think what the speaker is saying. Think what you are going to implement. Do not make so many assumptions that in the end you will be confused if you make so many assumptions, and you will not be able to find a good solution for that case. Number second is utilize the power of reading habit. Every person who is successful, they read every day, and you have to read. Nothing can substitute reading. If you read, your thinking will develop, and you will be able to write case efficiently, right? So you have to read newspapers, read non-fiction books, not fiction books, non-fiction books like biographics and etc. Read economical books like I have read about Poor Economics from Abhijit Chatterjee and Abhijit Banerjee, sorry. And the second, I have read The Fortune of the Bottom of the Pyramid from Prahlad. So they are good professors. You can read those books. I do recommend to you all to read and read the books. Read books, read research, go to the United Nations website and read the reports they have done, because there are so many data consist of it. You will understand, you have to understand the macroeconomic point of view, microeconomic point of view, because it's very important to understand that. So reading is your best buddy. So you have to read, because if you don't read, if you do not read, it will not help you. I do read.
So can you please repeat the book's name again?
It's Poor Economics by Abhijit Banerjee and The Fortune of the Bottom of the Pyramid. These are two books. You can read those type of books. All right. So there are cases also in The Fortune of the Bottom of the Pyramid. The ITC, how ITC, got into those farm sector and how they have implemented, benefited the society. So it's like that. Read books. Do not read fiction books, novels and all. Do not read that, because it will not help you in developing your aptitude. Read non-fiction books, self-help books, which will help you, right? Read research books. And second thing is always stay updated with the current affairs, what's going on in the economy. I would suggest you to read Economic Times compared to what you are reading the Hindu and all, because in Economic Times you will see so many things data compared to in times of India, there are so many biased views. So you have to see what are the newspapers, what are the sources which publish unbiased view of the scenario, of the current scenario. So I feel what I generally read is Economic Times. It contains pages of politics, which is enough to cover what you are going for, right? And it also gives you what's going in the sector, what decisions are making, what social developments are there. So it will help you to analyze that and stay relevant. Please be relevant, because anybody can answer you. All right. And practice. That is the last thing I would say. Without practice, you are bound to fail. Practice.
Please, everyone, can you unmute, please, everyone? Shubham, especially. Shubham bhai, please can you unmute? Sorry, mute. Please mute everyone. Whenever you want to speak, we will allow you. Like, this will be a discussion. Please understand this. But for the like smooth understanding, please everyone mute yourself.
So I think, Vinay, we are in the end of the case. We have concluded the presentation. This is the thing. This is the basics, I would say. And in the end, it is up to you how you develop. People, please practice, read, and analyze the situations. Develop your thinking habit, because it will help you in solving anything, any decision which you take in your life, in your organization, or in any situation where you have, where there's no way, you will find a way if you have the right thinking, right ability, right? So please make sure that you do these things. I'll be sharing the presentation with you all in the WhatsApp. You can download it, you can see it, and that's it.